Okay, for this video, I want to go over some tips, some cues, some things that I see people do wrong, and also, of course, the right way to do a step up. So this is a very common exercise that is into a lot of gym workouts. It's one we use here at Mission Move for strengthening and physical therapy for different patients. And there's a couple things that we see that people do wrong when they do these, and here's some of those cues that we give to correct it. So the first thing when people do a step up that I find is probably they're not using a height that's high enough. It's really beneficial to at least have something about knee height to do a step up. Anything less than that, then you're not getting as much as you can out of the step up. Now, obviously, there is sometimes if you're recovering from injury where we start with a low box, but going with a little bit higher isn't a bad idea. And the reason higher is better is because you're getting more flexion of your knee and your hip, which then requires more range of motion to go all the way into extension, which is what we're looking for with the step up. So one of the first things that I see people do wrong is when they do this step up, they just get up there and back down, right? Meaning it's just like they go up and then they come back down, right? And as you can see with this, I never actually get to full extension. You're keeping your knees bent, right? So when you're doing a step up, make sure that you always come up and you get all the way tall, right? All the way straight, and knees close to being locked out or locked out is fine, okay? And that's pretty much your common step up, right? With just if you're holding on to two dumbbells and fairly heavy, and you go ahead and just step up all the way to the top, make sure you get all the way straight and then come back down. All right. Now, the other thing that we see a lot of is people using way too much momentum, okay? And the momentum comes from pushing off of the foot that's on the ground. So that's something like this, where they're jumping up, right? Where it's like push. You see that little hop to get up. Again, if you're doing this for speed or time, or you're really tired, you're probably gonna do a little bit of that anyway, but that is not the best way to do the step up. You want to actually try not to push off of this. You will just a little, and that depends on the height of the box too, push off a little, but you wanna load that leg. So that kind of leads me to one of my first ways that we like to have people do step ups is if we're really trying to load the quad, meaning like we want to get the most for the quad out of your step up, then what you want to do is put your foot up on the box, lean forward so that you're shifting your weight onto the leg. And I call this a dead leg step up, meaning like I don't want this leg to do anything. So you really have to push your leg, shift your weight forward, not push off. You don't want to see any of that, and then just push on up like that. That's killer on the quads. You'll love it if you're into building your quads, okay? People have a super hard time doing this. So try it out at home or wherever. Try it at the gym. Try to put your leg up here, shift all your weight onto this leg, feel the quad engage, like I can feel my quad engaging even before I even push off, and then think to yourself, I want to keep this foot locked out, and just push up like that. Really hard. Sometimes with some of our patients, I'll even put like a little pencil underneath there, sometimes my finger, risking my finger, and see if they can do a step up, especially on something about this high, without pushing off at all. So try the dead leg step up, okay? That's a really great one for your quads. The other way that we like to have people do quads here is incorporate a little bit of balance into it, okay? So I like to see people, this is probably the most common way I have people do step ups, because we're usually working on single leg strength a lot for runners. And so the idea with this is to make sure that you step up and go fully into your other leg going up, okay? And you'll see I'm pushing into full extension, into full lockout of my knee, holding myself level across the waist, right? So if I face you, it looks like this. Push up to there, level across, And the idea is we're trying to not only build strength in the quad, but we're building strength into the hips to keep this level, to keep this from happening. And then we'll often load this side, the opposite side of the leg, stepping up to make that even harder. So with this one, you'll probably push off a little off this leg, but just push up to there, lock fully out. People really have a hard time getting this quad to fully contract and squeeze at the top. What I don't want to see is this is what we see a lot of, is just sort of like this sitting back, knee bent. That's not the right way to do it. Push all the way up, fully squeeze, hold there for just a second, show that you have control, and then back down. So that control of being able to hold for just a second and then come back down, that's part of strength. That shows that you truly own that motion, okay? So if you're doing this, you know, and it's like, I'm doing it for just a second and coming back down, you're really not controlling or showing that you own that movement, and you're truly not strong with that. So always, when you do that one, go into full extension, make sure you can hold it just for a second, and then come back down. So your take-home message for this is, make sure that you get into full extension. Whether you're just coming up like this, whether you're coming up to here, make sure you get all the way straight. That is the best way to do it. The second one is, if you really want to load the quads, then don't push off at all. Really do the dead leg squat and push up like that, all right? There's some other variations of step-ups for sure out there, but those are some of the common things that we see that people do wrong, and some of the ways that you can do them right. So whether you're doing rehab or you're just working out in the gym where you're doing step-ups, use these cues to do them right. You'll get a lot more out of your step-ups. If you have any questions, please comment below. Thanks for watching.